Shalom, this is all praise Yahweh Shem Yoshua Bashim Rakakadash. Give honors to the elders and apostles for the edification and knowledge. The Wadi Yahweh Shem Yoshua, for the spirit of the elders and apostles regarding this truth and knowledge. Call Yahweh Shem Yoshua Bashim Rakakadash. Give all praise Yahweh Shem Yoshua Bashim Rakakadash. This is a few videos relating to property that was returned back to the Bruce family, a beach property they purchased in 1912. It's a little bit of article here. The Bruce Beach was purchased in 1912 to create a beach resort for black people at the time of racial segregation in Southern California, located in the desirable city of Manhattan Beach, which is in Southern California, was forcibly taken by the local council in 1924. That's 98 years ago. But on Tuesday, Los Angeles officially voted and returned the land to the family, which is the Bruce family. These are videos relating to it. So that beach was worth $21 million beach property taken from the Back family in 1929. We'll get some scriptures real quick. The purpose of it was to make a beach resort for all blacks. That was they call it the Bruce Beach. For so-called blacks. Let's get Isaiah 10:1 first. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, decree policies, contracts, forms of leases, different laws that are questionable, very questionable. They are unrighteous. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and write them grievous which they have prescribed. So these policies, laws, and different forms of paper forms of contractual type paperworks and terms are going to be grievous to ones who they're going to be prescribed to, man. And that was a very grievous thing, taking that, for example, their property, man, which of many was taken. You go back to history relating to so-called blacks and so-called indigenous people, Native Americans. So that history speaks for itself. Turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor, which is the righteous of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. So they rob the fatherless, the righteous. These are all part of the curses, which I'm going to go into. So woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. That's the wicked, man. And write grievousness, because these laws and policies are grievous, man. They don't benefit specifically certain category groups of people, but overall, man, that they're prescribed to supposedly that's supposed to benefit. So that's a warning for them for that, man. From Yahweh Shem Yoshua, the Lord, man. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28. Because the reason why these things that happen, because the curses, man. Number one, man. They're under the curses, man. Look at Wall Street, how it flourished and prospered. But momentarily, then something happened, man. Then that was all stripped away because certain groups of people who were of that, relating to Black Wall Street, were under the curses, man. So they are only going to prosper momentarily, because the curses had to remind them through Yahweh Bashim Yahshua that this is not a place of your rest. Micah 2:10. Arise, depart from me. This is not a place of rest. It shall destroy you even with a sore destruction. Why is not a place of your rest? First of all, it's a place of punishment, man. This is a place where the Lord send you to reflect on why a certain group of people disobeyed the Lord or disobedient to the Lord. So that's why that these things happen. Ecclesiastes 10 and 6 and 7. For folly set in great dignity, the rich sit in a low place. They are once kings and princes, but they are now made to be servants, man. So the ones who are rich that sit low, they're going to be servants, man. And the ones that horses represents power. The ones who should be servants lay into that basis of people. Go with Daniel 4 and 17. The Lord will set a basis of people. Job 9 and 24, the earth has been given to the hands of the wicked of them. So they're going to be in a position of power, man. Because ultimately these other nations were made to be in a position of power. The Lord using them to punish his people, right? To Deuteronomy 14 and 2, Deuteronomy 7 and 6. For what? Their disobedience, man. So these nations were used as a tool to punish the nation of Israel. That tool and instrument to punish the nation of Israel, man. So yeah, they're going to prosper, because the balance of it, Jake will prosper. But ultimately, it doesn't change the purpose of the curses, man, because the curse is still going to come in effect. They're going to still serve their purpose. They're going to be like that arrow that's not going to miss its mark. They're going to be like that, they're going to be like that arrow that's not going to miss its mark. They're going to fulfill. They're not going to go out void to fulfill its purpose, man. So the curses are that plague, man. They that pestilence that's tailored and designed specifically for a specific nation of people, category nation people that's fitted for them to wear that, in a matter of speaking. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28. Shalom. Because the reason why these things happen upon them, because of the curses. Now Jake is going to deny. Jake don't want to acknowledge these things, man, because first of all, if he acknowledged them, he got to take responsibility for the blame, for ultimately being responsible to being in a state of condition. So it's easy to deflect and put it on something else. Transference, man. Transferring to the source that where it should be, but put it on something else that has no relation to, man. It's a psychological word, transference, man. So transferring to the main source where it should be, put it on that individual, but transfer it to somebody else, man. You know what I mean? So they won't have to acknowledge it. Deniability, man. Deuteronomy 28 and let me try to find it. Here we go. Cursed shall be in the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy land, and the increase of thy kin, and the flocks of thy sheep. So all the increases are going to be a curse. The curse shall thou be when thou comest in, and the curse shall thou be when thou goest out. So this curse is going to be in and out. It's going to follow thee, man. The Lord shall make a pestilence cleave into thee. A pestilence is a plague. This curse is a plague. Until ye have consumed thee from off the land, whether thou goest to possess it. So you're going to be removed off that land, man. So all the labors and all the work and all the hard work ultimately is going to come to no avail. It's not going to benefit ultimately, man. Because why? It's part of the curses, man. Deuteronomy 28 and 33. The fruit of thy land, all thy labor, shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up. So all the stuff you labor, you grew, you labor for, the nation is going to benefit. You're not going to benefit from it. The other nation is going to benefit. In this case, and that Bruce property, the ones who took it, man, they benefited off of it, man. But it was them that bought it, man. So they took it from them, man. Read that again. The fruit of thy land and all thy labor shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always. Native Americans, so-called blacks, man. Native Americans, you know the history with that. They were oppressed and crushed, man. And thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, and thou shalt neither drink of wine nor gather the grapes, for the worm shall eat them. Huh? So you're not going to benefit off your labors, off the things you have done that you should be prospering off of. You're not going to benefit these things. Go a little bit down. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, overtake thee, until thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not into the voice of the Lord. That's the reason, man. These curses are going to be like that plague, that pestilence that's going to come upon the Lord's people, man, relating to Deuteronomy 14 and to Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Because what? Of their disobedience and not hearkening to these laws, man. By God to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee, man. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and gladness of heart for abundance of all things. So that's the consequence. Let's read 28 and the Lord shall bring a nation against thee far in the end of the earth, and swift as the eagle, a nation whose tongue thou knowest not understand. That's the ones in power. A nation of a fierce countenance, which shall not regard persons of old, nor shew favor to the young. That's the ones in power, man. They're not going to have no pity upon the old, the young. They're not going to have no compassion, man. And parts of history states that, man, they didn't have no compassion, man. It's a bitter truth that they say, forget about it, let's move on. But the Lord ain't forget about it. Relating to Revelations 18 and that scripture 18, the Lord's going to give them double fold, man. That's that recompense, man. Those who put into captivity will be put into captivity. Those who kill with the sword shall be killed with the sword. Paraphrasing it. So that's that recompense that the Lord is going to do upon the nation that's done certain things, man. This is the Lord's movie. This is his judgment, man. And this was just a few scriptures relating to that. I want to give all praise to Yahweh Bashem Yosha. I hope it helps in some way. I want to give all praise to Yahweh Bashem Yosha Bashem Rakakadash. This brother Zayah, which means wolf. Shalom. Thanks.